Hi, welcome back to the Vergas Show. We're here again with Rececca Davis. Thank you, Rececca, for agreeing to have a second show and tell us a little bit more about your incredible music career and life, I guess is what you would call it. Now, the piece that you've done for the show, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, I have a little story about that. Many years ago, I performed at the Vergas Community Center.
I remember that. I was there.
And I played this piece. And normally my husband is not a tease at all, but every once in a while he gets a little
bit of that.
Little mischievous.
Okay.
And several days after the performance, a mutual friend of ours came up to me and she said, "Oh, I love that beautiful piece you played." Well, I had played several pieces, so I didn't know what she was talking about. I said, "Oh, what piece were you talking about?" She said, "The one about the Lune." And I said, "The one about the Lune?" She said, "Yeah, the Lune named Claire de Lune." And I said, "Who told you it was about a Lune named Claire?" She said, "Your husband." And I said, "Well, next time you see him, you give it to him good, because he was pulling your leg." Claire de Lune means moonlight in French, and the composer was Debussy, who was a French composer. So that's how that happened.
That is wonderful. I mean, only in Vergas, right?
Only in Vergas. It was like, Claire de Lune, and I'm like... And I'd never thought of it that way. I said, who would come up with that? It's like your husband.
And your husband did. Oh, that is great. I love it. Well, then that's, when we talk about music being just, it gives you balance, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. And I think the arts in general do.
The arts in general do. And as you said, you found that balance in your life. Now, where have you taken it to, Rececca, as far as, let's hear a little bit about your tours and what you have going here in Vergas.
Well, again, I would have never dreamed. I mean, people said to me after not, playing or performing for virtually 12 years, "Oh, you'll never get your technique back, and you're a little older now."
Yes.
I mean, usually the cutoff point for competitions and touring and having a career is early to mid 20s, and after that, if you haven't made it, you're done. So that's why I know there's another power at work. And basically, I decided to do some competitions that have really come out recently for pianists, that most of them have jobs other than performing and teaching full-time. As a matter of fact, you cannot perform or teach full-time in order to participate. But that does not negate the quality of some of these pianists. They are just phenomenal. And I've been very fortunate to have done very well in some of these. And through that, you meet people, you do networking. I had met a Brazilian pianist named Luis de Moura Castro, and he said, "I want you to come with my wife and I and do some touring and go to some festivals throughout Europe." So that's when I performed in Germany and Switzerland and Spain and Italy, and it was just, the opportunities were just amazing. And then from that, it just blossomed, and I ended up performing in China and Brazil, and this past fall in Russia.
Do you have a highlight tour?
No, they all were so different, and I learned different things. The culture is different, the people are different. Each experience is very unique.
Right, and what I think is so incredible is now all those experiences you brought back to Little Vergas and the students you have here, and you're giving them something from each one of those tours.
I hope so. Yes. That's certainly my intention.
So you teach piano here for students? Yes. How often do you do that, Rececca?
Every week.
Every week you do that?
Yeah, and I have students from 4 to 84.
Really?
Yeah, and from all different levels, beginners to very advanced.
Because we're in your studio here right now, that's where we're filming this, and so then you have your piano and the grand piano, which you played on, and what an experience for those children all ages.
They say the best teachers make the best students.
Well.
And I learned so much from my experiences with all of them. They're just a joy. They give me so much and adds so much to my life. It's very fulfilling.
Now, do you have a website that people
Yes.
can contact you on?
It's RececcaDavispianist.com.
Okay, and so then you've been updating that. And what do you have in the
Yeah.
future? What do you have coming up as far as tours?
I've done already one performance in the Twin Cities
That
this
was
year.
at the Landmark Center,
Yes,
wasn't
at
it?
the Landmark, and I've got one coming up at the Bloomington Center for the Arts, and then I've got a few private performances that you can only come to by invitation. They're not open to the public.
Right. And so you're open to, if somebody would want to have you come and do a private one, like you said, and then you will on your website
absolutely.
have your tour schedule, and then do you have openings for piano students?
It's tight. It's
yes.
tight. Actually, the Lake Region Arts Council gave me a legacy grant, and they asked me to do 10 free performances in the Lakes region in places where classical music isn't accessible or affordable, like homeless shelters, nursing homes, hospitals, schools. So I've been quite busy doing that as well.
So when you go into a nursing home, what kind of an audience do you have compared to when you're in Moscow?
You know, I can honestly say, whether it's a few people in a nursing home or a huge, venue in some foreign country somewhere or here in the United States, it really doesn't matter to me. I can honestly say that.
I actually thought you were going to say that because, I mean, a true musician just is there, and anyone who appreciates what they're playing, but you get a lot of...
That's all that matters to
right.
me. If they enjoy it, then I'm happy.
What kind of advice would you have for someone if they'd say, oh, I have a young daughter and she wants to play piano?
Well, I personally do something called a trial lesson, where the parent and the child come, and even for the adults, I do the same thing, come in and have a lesson, and I teach exactly the way I would if they had signed up for the year with me. And that way, we get to see if the chemistry works.
Sure.
I get to see if it's a child that's very young, like 4, 5, 6 years old, they might not quite be ready for serious lessons. So that's something that I take into consideration. And then the parent, of course, can assess. They know their child obviously much better than I do, and they can see, are they comfortable with me? Do they seem excited and enthusiastic? Are they going to be disciplined? I have lots of fun in my lessons, but I'm serious. We laugh, but we work hard.
Work hard, and you expect them to practice.
Oh, absolutely.
The practicing part is always interesting,
Absolutely.
isn't it? Yes. Well, that's wonderful. Rebecca, I just so appreciate you
thank you
being
for
on the
having
show
me. I appreciate it.
And just the arts and the music in anywhere you're at, whether it's a small community or, like you said, in a big city. It's just, it can be appreciated anywhere, can it?
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you, and good luck with all that you're doing. And we'll check out your website, RececcaDavispianist.com,
.com,
and find a show that's coming up in this area.
Okay.
All right, you
Sounds
have a good
good.
day.
You too.
You have a good day in Vergas.